Right. Okay.
Yeah, the front.
Right then. Here we go. We were hoping that he would run away. I told you. Right. So, this little one there is Quincy. Quincy, am I right, Quincy? Where's Linda? So, Quincy, Abby.
Right.
Abby. And this is the one that was rescued, and Linda and Danny were given a date to go. Correct me if I'm wrong, Linda, you had to go to an auction.
Yes.
And to save her, and you went, and no one else turned up at the auction. So Linda and Danny could have $5, but they didn't. They said they want to give something to the charity. So they bid against each other. Didn't tell the auctioneer. The auctioneer could not understand what was going on. And they bid themselves up and gave something to charity. So, right then, so let's have a look here. So I write my list down so I don't forget anything, because you get excited when you stare at me. And so confidence and leadership. So
he's gonna roll.
Age, Linda.
15.
15, both.
No. 4th of July.
4th of July. Wow. Okay. So what I'm going to try and do is, for entertainment reasons, let Quincy go and have a run round. We may have to put Quincy away. We'll see how we get on. So, okay. So I have deliberately done. I've led Abby along the indoor barn, and I stopped Abby twice, looked at Abby's feet, and she backed up to me. And I said to Linda, "Whoa! If I do any more, it won't be authentic enough." So we made a decision. We all sat down. So I have done absolutely zero with Abby. Now can you see here she keeps wanting to get by me. Now if I allow that for her to push all on me, so every time she thinks about coming into my space, I'm just looking at her feet, getting her attention, and making her, it'll help make her feel safe with me. I'm going to just pump a little bit here. There you go. Tell her how good she is. I'm not whole gripping her here. If you grip them, they feel claustrophobic. So that's really important. She's standing a bit stiller there. With that. So I'm going to lead her with a loose rein here, and I'm going to step back. I want her to stop and step back. So I'll do this a few times. I'll step my foot back. That is a nice little stop there. So I'm going to lead her, drop my shoulder, and step my foot back. She's shaking. Look, she's shaking. So I'm going to go this way, stop, back her up, tell her how good she is.
Where is the animal? I don't know if it works.
I'm going to keep doing this, but you've got to watch my shoulder. Shoulder down, back her up, shoulder down, there. Now when she does a nice little stop for me, just say, there you go, you're all right. But I'll really work on that. Stop, yes. So that's 4th time I've asked. Your attention, tell her how good she is. And then I'm going to do it again. Stop. Now already she's taking more notice than me. Just for me, backing her up. The more you can yield any horse away, and I tend to tut. Some people shush, some people say back, back, back. I don't think it really matters that much, really. Is my way better? Yes. Probably. Yes. We all cluck for forward, I do. I cluck for forward. And I think it can confuse a horse. You've clucked. Tutting is still a repetitive kind of sound, but they separate it out. She's getting better already. If she was mine, I'd be doing this loads. Right, okay, so quite happy with. But you see how I get her attention? I just get her attention. You can use a plastic bag to get her attention and then take the plastic bag away. Just something to get her attention, because when their attention wanders, same as riding horses, their ears will go in the direction, their nose will go, and then their toes goes. So if you can keep them locked on a little bit, then you know, I'll sometimes sit on a chair and just do that. Just get the horse's attention on me and leave them alone. So your attention's on me more. So that's a good sign. Now that was an unrequested forward motion, so she knows I just saw that. Look how easy she's backing up. Absolutely brilliant. Attention, there. So next on my list is feet forward, because all I've been doing is backing up. So now I want to get feet forward. So I'm going to, at the moment, I am what's called neutral. Neutral is nothing, nada, nothing. Right, neutral. Again, I don't care how much she does that. 2 paces, too much there. Unrequested forward motion. Now what I'm trying to show here is, it doesn't matter how big this equine brain is, it's no different to the big horses. They respond in exactly the same way. And I don't know about over here, but little ponies are a nightmare at home. People hand feed them constantly. They're feeding them, treating them, allowing all sorts, and if they kick, they go, oh, it just kicked me. So it's the same equine brain, same equine brain, so the groundwork is no different. Okay? So forward, now I'm going to go from neutral to can you go forward? So now I am active. Right, I had 1 foot forward, stop, back up a little bit. Look at that. Look, this is push button already. And now do you think it's advantageous to have Quincy running around like this? Oh, absolutely. You know, if it was a big riding horse right now, then no, probably not. But this is great for her, because I'm saying, no, you don't come forward. I noticed that. Okay. So, again, from neutral to active. Nice. And this is how I start. Any lunging, stop. Whoa. Let's try this side. This eye might not be, might be okay, but she might come into me a bit more because we leave them this side. So, yeah, got my little forward. Stop, back up, 1 pace. Thank you. Go forward. So now I've got active. Now look, do you think she'd get less scared? In what? No time at all? By just being, look, she licked and chewed, she said, and for that, are we going to try and lower your head? What? Look at that. Look at that. She says, you haven't got far to lower it. I can't go very far. Bit of pressure, there you go. Look at that. The kids ride these little ponies over here. Yeah? That'd be great. Any kids in it? Big kids. We're all that. Right, she is really relaxing now. So, can I disengage her little back feet? And when I disengage, big horse, little horse, it does not matter. I lift my rein, because everything relates to a riding horse. I'm going to lift my rein, which is what I would do in the saddle. I would lift my rein. So I'm going to Look, got her attention straight away here. Right, so I'm going to look at what I want to move, which is the hindquarters. I'm going to lift my halter line, which is my rein, and then I'm going to see if I can get a hindquarter disengage, and then I'm out of there. I am out of there. Right, that's how you spill. So that's a step, that's a little one, that's a little one, and then just a little. They really recognise that. So tell her how good she is. Linda?
Yes.
How do you think she's doing? Better than you thought she would?
Yeah.
I thought she might be pretty petrified in here, which she was. So I'm going to keep going until I get a nice one. Stop. Now, what I found is, because we go to quite a few troubled, kind of wildish horses that we have to catch. A lot of horses that are really worried will not disengage their hindquarters, right? They what's called step around. Does everyone know what I'm saying here? They step. And the reason they're stepping is because if I cross my legs like this, I lose all my flight completely when I do that. And horses know that, and they step for ages until you finally get a hindquarter disengagement, and then you leave them alone. You just build on that. Then they start trusting you more, and they will give up their motor for you, and then you're really starting to get somewhere then. But people don't know what I meant there. When you're disengaging a nervous horse, try and wait until they actually cross for you, and then you're going to do a lot better with them then. So that's feet forward, disengage done, stop so don't. Now I'm lowering the head, I'll do that again. Now at first I go on the side that they'll be more used to people. Obviously the other eye will be a little bit different, but for the demonstration I'll just come this side and I'll see if I can lower it again. Bit of pressure, there, and then I'll leave her alone. I'll put a little bit of pressure here and a little bit of pressure down there, and then rubber. And this is, has anyone noticed this is no different than a big horse? There is an equine brain is an equine brain. Now she's struggling there now, so I'm just going to hold. I've got a little bit of a squeeze here, rock and hold. And the worst thing I could do now is release that for the hardness she's giving me. So I'm just there. So did anyone see that little give? Okay, this will probably be quicker now. There, so it's just waiting for them to figure out what. So there, she's come up. I'm going to keep focused, and then as soon as she thought about it, and then there. And she's loosened her mouth up. Look, there's no difference. So tell her how good she is. Now, I'm going to see if I can up it a little bit and put a blanket on her. She might be pretty frightened now, but we'll see. She might be pretty frightened. And this is what's called flooding until and that's a lot better than I thought it would be. But again, I wouldn't have had that unless I just done that bit of groundwork. So it's important here that I keep doing that until she kind of relaxes. She's stopped her feet, so I'll bring her here, stop, and then I'll do it again. But it's important I don't stop that till she stops her feet. It's about stopping her feet. Right, she flinched, but she didn't move her feet. And that's because she's flinching. So if she were mine, I would spend maybe an hour getting it. So she was that bored of that picture. She cannot help doing that right now. She has no control over that feeling that she gets, because basically she has a picture of this, a feel of it, a picture, a feel, a sound, and if that picture, a feel and a sound is something threatening, she has no control over her movement. And sometimes when a horse spooks real bad, we say, a stupid horse, they cannot help it. A horse can't, it has no control. Now, if I came up there with a toffee hammer, you know what a toffee hammer is? Little hammer, and I asked you all to cross your legs. I'm so good at it, I can have you all doing that with you. That is called an innate response. You cannot help it. That's exactly how a horse is. They can't help, they cannot help themselves. And it's only when we desensitize, so in other words, the picture of something that's frightening, that picture, that sense, that smell, the senses they have, if you do it enough, that starts to not be a threat. That's what desensitizing is. So, you know, if a horse spooks from something and you know what it is, you've got to flood them with it until that has now become non-threatening. Does that make sense, guys? It's so... I've desensitized some horses, you think there's no way you could do it, but you've got to make that picture not so threatening. So here, right, did you see her put her head down? She just, that picture of that on this side just really went away a little bit. So I waited for a bit of it. Now this side, it might be completely different. So let's see. No? So that's a good thing to show you really. You've got to remember they see in pictures, they see in the moment, and they react. All horses, ponies, every equine breed is just a set of reactions to the picture and the senses around that picture. It's just a mass of reactions depending on the level of threat. And that's all horses are. It's the level of threat. And that's what their makeup is, because remember, they're feed. They are eaten, and that's why they're here millions of years, because they don't think about it. It's in their DNA. That frightens them enough, they're gone. They are gone. If they get caught up in the trailer and panic, they can't help it. Does that make sense what I'm saying, guys? And that, when I realised that, it really changed the way I thought. I never got angry for them spooking, because they cannot help it. And that really can really help people when they know that side of it. Now, do people, have anyone studied or looked at horses' brains compared with humans? Has anybody looked at it? There are a few hands coming up here. Anyone that side? A few hands. Well, after dinner, I'll show you the book. There's a book Tanya bought me, and it's confirmed so much that I thought. Horse brain, human brain, and when you actually look at a horse's brain, an equine brain, it's amazing to see the differences with the human. You know, they basically are set up so they don't think about it. They don't think about it. They don't think about the consequences. We've got 33% of the frontal lobe, a massive portion. We think about what the consequences are going to be. So if there's a fella there and he's a big lad, and I'd think about being nice to the guy, do you know what I mean? I'd think about what could happen. Horses haven't got that. Dogs and cats have got about 5% of it. I think monkeys, it's about between 17 and 25%. Monkeys. So monkeys are clever, they think about stuff. We've got a good third, some say 40% of it is what we think about what's going to happen if we do something. How much, anyone got an idea of how much they've got of the frontal lobe? 6? 10?
2.
They ain't got it. They got no frontal lobe. So they basically, a horse sees a picture in the senses, boom, and they react to the threat of that. Straight to, from the visual cortex, straight through to the motor neuron, so that, to what makes them run. That's it. It's crazy. It's crazy. So I'm just going to back her off here and tell her how good she is. So it's worth knowing that, you guys. They got none. They don't reason. And that's what's kept them alive for millions of years. That one thing there. So you have desensitizing is very, very real. But just know that picture and senses, you've got to do it enough, you've got to do it so much, that suddenly that isn't such a threat. But I will tell you one thing. You think you've got it one day and it's like starting over the next day sometimes. But eventually, you kind of get there. So, I'm going to just check her with a flag, okay? I'll check her with a flag here. I think she's starting to trust me a little bit here, by being a leader, by being particular about my space, by being very gentle as I can be. Everything I'm doing here is giving her confidence in me. Okay, so let me see first what she thinks about me. Now, I don't really want her to be think it's got anything to do with her because I'm in neutral. You know, I'm in neutral. So this shouldn't, I mean, who's got a horse, you think you do that, they'll jump up and down. Well, you get the leadership right, and then maybe it won't be quite as bad. So, she's just handled that, so I tell her how good she is. Now, when I ask her to move from it, who knows, but that's the first thing I would do. Get a horse in neutral, it doesn't bother him. You know, I'm not interested in her at the moment, other than the fact I do know where she is, because I can see her there. That's my peripheral vision. Does everyone know what that means, peripheral vision? It comes, I'll tell you where my vision is. There. That's my vision there. Right? That's my vision. But there's a peripheral that you can just about see movements back here. Back there you can't. Horses can. I know where she kind of is there. So, checking out. So, that's that. So, would you say that's better already? Yeah? Now I'm going to go from neutral to active. So now it does involve her, and they work it out when I want something from her. So now, can you go forward? So she's there, she went forward. Now, did you notice I put the flag down then straight away? So she's going to work out, stop, back up 2. Thank you. Right, she's going to work out that she has the power to get rid of this, because this is just information, and this goes away when she does the right thing with her feet. It's gone. So she can start to roll that. She can get rid of that. She has the power to overpower this by doing what? In the early stages, and we have got to desensitise them eventually. So now, active. Oh, come on. That's it. That's it. And stop. Back up 2. Look at that. Look at that. Huh? Right. So, again, I'm going to try without it. She went without it. She didn't need it. And again, I would do this over and over till she listened to this. She would go back from it. She would load into a trailer with it, because all I'm doing is feet forward, because I've done lots of backing, lots of yielding. I would do lots of feet forward. So now I'm setting myself up. Can you go somewhere? But yeah, you went a little bit more worried, but stop. Tell her how good she is. Look at that. Can you go? You can. Right? So can you go? So now I'm going to see whether I can push her and then take my gaze off and now lead her. Right? So this is leading to driving, and I do it with all horses, all sizes. Now I'm going to take her space from here. Now I'm going to drive her. Now she's quite worried here, but that's all right. Right. She's calm for a second there. So now, my gaze goes. She knows everywhere I'm looking. She knows everywhere I'm looking. They even feel intent in her eyes. Right, can you go? Can I drive you? Yes. Yes. Now my gaze is gone. I haven't got a death grip, and she's following me. Stop. Good girl. Good girl. I'll do the other eye in a minute. This is exactly what they do in the wild. A stallion will push in the herd and the lead mare, and then make horses follow them. A bit like we draw them in the round pen, no different. Horses have to follow, and that's all this is. I'm just speaking horse. Now, I used to wear sunglasses. I got a problem, I squint in the sunlight. My dad had the problem, I got the problem. And really, I should use sunglasses. But I've worked out that I get a lot more done with horses, especially nervous ones. I take them off. Now, my Nita, my main horse, was my main horse, she's having a baby now, but I can take my sunglasses with me, no problem, because that's later on. I never ever go to a troubled horse and use sunglasses. I can't do it, don't work. for me, as it's kind of, you can get there, because they can't see the one thing that shows intent. Horses read intent, and I've been to a lot of horses where you working on catching them, and the owner says, you can get right there, you can get right there. And as soon as you think about it, they're gone. They read you. Horses read you. That's what keeps them alive. They're going to know whether you want to get them or not. And they read in your eyes. Does that make sense, guys? I know you might have to squint, but for horses that are a bit troubled, take your sunglasses off. It makes a massive difference. It's powerful. Anyone learn anything there to try? You just don't. But the normal horses, yeah, if they're fine. But if it's a trouble horse, then I wouldn't do it. So that makes sense a bit about the flag. I don't want to overdo it with her, but I mean I've only got to show it her now, and she's gone. Now what I do a lot of is sending horses through a gap. What that does is it's everything all in one. It's a group of exercises. It's forward motion. It's disengage. It's forward, disengage, forward again. But the most important part of it is working out if that horse is respecting space. Because I have it there. I mean, I hate when a horse moves me, and it happens. We move their feet, they never ever move ours. If they move ours, they clocked it. So, really important, that's a way of checking your space. Why so much about the space? That's how they work in their own. You watch horses. You watch horses for 12 hours. If you ever get a chance, you'll learn more about your horses. If you sit there, get someone to bring you water to keep you alive. Sit there and watch your horses. You will learn so much. And it's all about movement. It's all about shoulder movement, and that's what it's about. And that's what that is about. What time are we up to? Let me have a look. We are, can't even see. 11 o'clock we are now. So 11. What? Yeah, I think there's loads I'd love to. What do you think of it, guys? Right, hang on. We'll have a go at this then, right? You got the drop on me, you did. You got the drop on me. Right, let's see. So I'll use my hand. It's important for her not to leave here real scared of what you just done. So I'll just do it gentle for me, and then we'll build on it. So ready? Cheers. Right. Never grows old. Okay. You see how I'm not containing it? That's the key. Let's give it some now. Tanya, will she fit in the case? Linda, love. Right, okay, does that, I think that shows a few things that I wanted to show. It doesn't matter what size they are, it's the same ground. So that's that. So, okay guys, we'll get another horse out now. Where have we still got the other one? Where's the other one? Oh, right, okay.